Hi everyone. Well, today I'm here with my friend Sahar Hashemi. Now, if you don't know Sahar, she was one of the co-founders of Coffee Republic, the amazing coffee bar chain, but also you've written a book, haven't you? It's an entrepreneurship book. What's it called again?
Anyone Can Do It.
Anyone Can Do It. Now, she can tell you how to do it because you also have co-founded By Women Built, which is this amazing forum that I'm also a member of, and it brings all these women together who have started their own businesses to help support each other, give each other advice, and we're going to tell you more about it. So welcome.
Thank you, Marissa. So lovely to stay here with you.
I want you to maybe first start by telling everyone sort of what was your journey? How did you start?
Basically, sort of my life was, I never thought I was an entrepreneur. I had this idea when I was growing up, a bit older than everyone else. Was sort of the Richard Branson idea of an entrepreneur, sort of super creative, school dropout. It's almost like you felt you had to have a sort of chromosome, it was entrepreneurial, and therefore
no one teaches you.
No, exactly. And somehow you had to sort of somehow been financially very wily when you were young, and maybe sort of made your.
And I definitely wasn't. I feel like you have to learn on the job.
Yeah, that's the thing, and so there was no traits of Sahar's going to grow up to be an entrepreneur. For me, the way entrepreneurship was it's just about being yourself
and believing
in the product and hard work. I mean, there's no secret to sort of it's a special skill. It's just doing something and getting it done, which is why women are so good at it.
Exactly, multitasking. So how did you start, I think it was with your brother, the Coffee Republic, which obviously was one of the first coffee chains in the UK.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, the only reason we started it is because I'd gone to New York and I had seen a skinny latte for the first time in my life. It's like, I remember like going to that one coffee bar in New York and going, can I have a latte please? And it was like, what would you like your latte with? Skimmed milks, semi-skimmed milk sort. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's skinny latte. That's the thing. And literally almost I came back here and I just couldn't believe I couldn't get a skinny latte. And at that time I was actually working as a lawyer, sort of around the corner from where we are.
Lawyer, yes.
So I had now, literally couldn't be further away from entrepreneurship. And then I sort of, I told my brother I literally missed skinny lattes, and I couldn't believe in this country I could not get a skinny latte.
So after Coffee Republic, I mean, how many years was that before they?
Yeah, so that was basically from sort of idea that I saw in New York until we got out. It was 5 years, 110 stores, all across sort of London. But just, one of the biggest things I say is the importance of being clueless. We were clueless about the coffee business, but I knew I wanted to drink this stuff. Like, that's all I knew. I wanted to have a skinny latte every day.
So during your time then, what do you think was one of your biggest learnings?
The biggest learnings is, I suppose, you just have to keep trying. Success is there's no such thing as overnight success. It's all about hard work and hard graft. There's no such thing either, Marissa, about having a great idea, because the amount of people who told me afterwards, oh, I had that idea, but it's not about the idea.
It's the person who does it though.
Yeah, it's just the person who does it.
And who keeps on fighting to bring it to life, or bring it to the consumer, and keep going when you're kind of given a knockback or 2 steps back. I always say it's about that perseverance.
It's all about perseverance.
The same with us. I mean, I always say we were sort of 10 years, it took 10 years to make Missima a success, and we're still trying to make it a success even now, because you never stop trying.
Absolutely. It's every action you take every single day. There's not a kind of, some people have too much grand plans, they think, and I always say like the grand plan is actually the wrong plan, because it's just too grand, and you can sit there thinking about the grand plan, but it's actually all about doing the little teeny stuff every day. That's what makes such a huge change.
What were the kind of life lessons you put into your book, which obviously was to help other entrepreneurs?
Well, I mean, basically, sort of after 5 years, I remember the company got very big, and I think this is a problem a lot of entrepreneurs have. Suddenly, like, from zero, kitchen table to 110 stores, we were on the main stock exchange. It becomes a different personality. So we got a lot of people in, and I'm assuming a lot of the audience is actually female listening to this, but it was quite a sort of male thing in that, when we got these senior people in who came from big companies, it was often like, oh, well done, you started the company, good job, but
now we'll take over.
Let the grown-ups take over, because you might know about how delicious a vanilla latte is, or how great a muffin should be, but this is business now.
But then it loses the magic and the personality and the soul. Exactly.
The business of souls. And we didn't realize that at that time. So it was very much, everyone was like, oh, you must never stay too long. It's almost like you become like a parent of an adult child, and you must let it go. So we sort of was like, we love the company so much, as you can understand, you love the company so much. I mean, I was like, whatever's good for it. If I'm bad for it, then I'm going to step back. When I sold my shares, I really missed it, and I'd been there for 5 years. And I made money, but I loved what I did. So
you missed the buzz, you missed the energy, you missed learning something new every day. So let's talk about by Women Built. I mean, you obviously have co-founded that, and it has grown. I mean, how many now? I mean, companies, brands, female-led brands do you have?
Yeah, we have, you know, kind of in the hundreds, but really, you know, the way that started is it was in the lockdown, and I'm going through my Twitter, and actually the work I was doing had sort of slowed down, and I saw this one tweet, and the tweet was, not all of us can invest in women, not all of us can mentor women, but we can all buy from them. And I thought actually the most productive, proactive way you can support women is by choosing a Woman Built brand and buying from them. Because when I wear Woman Built, which I'm wearing entirely today, I feel more empowered because, you know, I just feel a connection. So I called up my co-founder who was really big in marketing, and I said, what if we started a consumer movement to get kind of consumers to choose to buy Women Built? And the problem is they don't know which brands are Women Built because often women are so busy and women are shy away from saying that is my brand. So I was like, look at all these brands. I know them because I'm in the ecosystem. I am going to slap something on them saying this is Women Built. I'm going to put a stamp on them, and I'm going to shine a light for people to see that, you know, look what women have achieved. That's all I've done by Women Built for. You know, by Women Built to see what women have achieved.
And you're the perfect person to do that because not only have you run your own business, but then you've also written the book, you know, given advice on how to do it, and now you're like, no, this is part of who I am. Yes, and this is natural to me, and this is what inspires me, and how can I help others?
Exactly. So I'm just going to share a stat which came from the Rose Review that I was involved in, that in the UK, our rates of female entrepreneurship are really low. So to give you an idea, we're 30% behind America, Canada, and that 30% is costing our economy 250 billion.
Wow.
Can you imagine? So if we had more female entrepreneurs, 250 billion for our prosperity, our communities.
Absolutely. But why do we think that is? Why are we 30% behind, let's say, the US?
Women have, actually, it's almost like a misplaced idea that they don't have what it takes to start a business. So how can you make them confident? And that's what Women Built is. Look what they've done. Look, this is a woman who just had the passion. A woman like you. She didn't have any special skills. She didn't go to business school. Yeah. She just
because I did want to say that. I was exactly the same. I'm not trained as a jeweler. Yeah. So you don't need to have that skill set. Exactly. You just need to have that, you know, that desire, that drive.
Yeah. And women, we know, you know, they're resourceful. They're hard. You know, women do that at home the whole time. The whole multitasking. That's what you got to do as an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
So for me, feminine traits that naturally you do outside your life are just perfect for entrepreneurs.
And I think you need empathy, and I think women are very good.
Oh my God, you know, that is like massive. And as well, you need customer empathy because you know the consumer economy. If I had a sex, it would be female. So women are consumers. We love shopping. Brilliant, you love shopping. That is the genesis of a million ideas. It's amazing the way women start, and it's often because of an unmet need. And that's why I think women are so innovative, and I just want to shout it from the rooftops. And I get so much energy from them. I get so much energy from all of you. Just actually meeting. I mean, it's
and
just
the women
incredible.
Under the umbrella also get so much energy from each other. I mean, I'm on this WhatsApp group. Believe me, I'm the most useless. I can't. I know I'm terrible, but I do read all these WhatsApps, and I'm amazed by the amount they're sharing. They're coming together to give advice, to help each other out. So often people say, "Let's support each other," but they don't really. And I think you know, in this group, I'm amazed at the level of support.
I think a lot of you have said, you know, you feel in that group there's someone that's got your back, and I think that's just for me really lovely and really amazing. And you know, empowered women empower women. It's just this sort of this little like psych flywheel of people empowering each other.
And how amazing that you've helped create that natural.
Oh my God, it's like one of the probably of like I've done quite a few things in my career, but this is just one of the most satisfying because I get so much out of meeting all of you. I would have never met you.
If there was one thing that you would, you know, shout out on a billboard that would be some kind of advice you wish you'd had or that you would give to someone else, what would it be?
Well, it's almost like become my motto, but it's leap and the net will appear. And I actually kind of read this somewhere, but somehow it just leap and the net will appear means that if you want to do something, if you got that idea, you know, don't sit there thinking about it, you know, asking people if it's the right idea, because it's almost like you're at the edge of the cliff looking. Just bloody do it. Just leap, and the net will catch you there.